Hello, everybody. You're listening to the Big Chill Podcast. This is episode 825, hotter than a deep dish oven. Hello, Big Chillians, and welcome back to the Big Chill Podcast. I'm Frank, joined as always with Eddie. Eddie, how's it going?
Yeah, things are going pretty well. I've had a fairly uneventful, unexciting week. It was slightly ruined by the Steelers and Aaron Rodgers yesterday.
Oh.
But other than that, I had the pleasure. I went to sleep. I decided I wasn't going to stay up. Not a good game. Don't really want to watch it. I had two bets where that was the last thing in the bet, plus a few week-long bets where I'd put the Steelers in pretty much everything, because I just assumed it wasn't a vote of confidence in the Steelers. It was a vote of no confidence in Joe Flacco and the Bengals. I woke up, right, the Steelers were winning 7-0, and they had the ball like 1st and 10 on the Bengals 25. I was like, oh, easy. I don't need to even pay attention to this. I went to sleep, woke up again, and the Bengals were winning. This was just before halftime. And then I decided to watch the rest of the game. That was wonderful. That was good use of my evening.
Don't bet against Joe Flacco, and don't bet against Thursday Night Football. Thursday Night Football is undefeated now.
Well, maybe the move is maybe it's just underdogs. That's 3 weeks in a row now. Well, not even the shit team, but the underdog. But that's 3 weeks in a row now where the underdog has not only covered, but won outright. So, maybe there's a logic there behind, maybe that's the trend, but then it's got to go back the other way. So now we got to start just blindly betting favorites Thursday Night Football, because it's got to even out by the end of the season.
No, I don't ever trust Thursday Night Football. Thursday night and London games, don't trust them.
Well, good news. You got a London game this week to look forward to.
Yeah.
But they did give me, I don't know if you saw the statistic from this coverage yesterday, but a remarkable Steelers stat. And I think the Pittsburgh Steelers might be the team that throw up just the best statistics, because you've had Mike Tomlin there forever, and they've both been chronically bad and yet consistently good somehow simultaneously.
Yeah.
It had the Pittsburgh Steelers 56 consecutive regular season games with 7 or fewer points in the first quarter. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That is
crazy.
Even if you're terrible, that's hard to pull off. And they've actually been quite good throughout that time period. I mean, that's over 4 seasons without scoring more than 7 points in the first quarter.
Wow. That is pretty crazy. Eddie, I don't know if they said it because I only watched half of it, but did you think about or look up whether this Flacco-Rodgers combo, speaking of stats, is the oldest combined age of two quarterbacks? They had to have mentioned this on the broadcast.
I was mostly watching it without sound, so they may have mentioned it, and I didn't.
Weirdo.
I wouldn't have heard it.
That's a real serial killer move there.
Well, if you want to really know what it was like, I was watching it without sound, no other lights on in my living room, just pitch blackness, watching the Steelers slowly throw that game away. It was.
So you're going to say I was watching it without sound and without video.
Yes, yeah, I was just braille. But I don't think it would have been, though, because Tom Brady at the end of his career would have been older than both of those quarterbacks, and you would have had a matchup of Brady versus Breeze, potentially.
Got it. Yep. Aaron Rodgers, Joe Flacco, number 2, 84 years old, 226 days. Drew Brees and Tom Brady, 85 years old, 172 days. So not that much older, less than a year. But the Brees-Brady combo in January 17th was the oldest one.
That's an interesting one to think, when will that be beaten? Because Rodgers is...
Next year, Rodgers, Flacco.
But Rodgers is fairly adamant that he's going to retire. I think this could be it for Flacco, because I'm not sure he totally enjoys the being traded, shifted around the NFL on a consistent basis.
Flying economy.
Yeah. Like, I don't know. I get the feeling, maybe this will be fun because this is definitely more enjoyable than being on the Browns because you have elite receivers around him. So it's not that surprising to see him throw for 300 plus yards because we know he's got that in him. It's just, as I said to you, this is going to be the frustrating thing about predicting the Bengals for the rest of the season and betting on them is that you are going to see a few Flacco 300 plus, maybe even 400 plus games, but then he's going to have 140 yards with 4 interceptions and look 40 years old and just terrible. Like there's no doubt about this. This is a terrible look for Browning though. This
Oh,
is
it's
like
awful.
this is he should retire today. That should just be his reaction to what he saw yesterday, especially as I said to you watching the game, the moment they came up with a designed run for 40-year-old Joe Flacco that went for a first down in their own half. That's the moment where Browning should have been like, I've seen enough. That's
What a
it
move
for
that
me.
was.
Yeah.
That was amazing. No, I think, it's funny because Flacco said he actually really enjoys it. Now, he enjoys playing. I don't know. I agree with you. I don't know if he enjoys the aspect of like randomly being traded on a Tuesday afternoon and flying economy to Cincinnati. But he has said multiple times that like he actually really still enjoys playing and like he doesn't want to stop playing because then once he stops, like you're never gonna be able to play
Stops.
again. So like play as much as you can. And
I
like
get that.
he still has fun. Like I don't know if you saw yesterday they were literally driving down the field to win the game. And Chase had that like crazy drop where it hit him like right in the hands. And Flacco gave him like a really funny face of like, oh, you dropped it. And I was like, man, this guy is 40 years old trying to sub in for a team to win a game. And he's like joking around. Like it's actually really fun to see. But then you watch
Yeah.
him on the sidelines and he looks like he's half asleep on the bench. It's like, does he really like this?
Sleepy Joe Flacco. But
Yeah.
no, I agree with you. He definitely enjoys. I just think the problem is he's running out of. He may enjoy playing, but he's running out of places to actually play
Yeah.
because yeah, he can be the starter for the Bengals until Burrow comes back, but he's not. If he's with the Bengals next season, he's a backup. He's definitely not going back to the Browns again. And so you start to think where are the destinations where Flacco could be suitable? There's not that many. So it's really a question of does he enjoy playing, as in he must be a starter, or is he happy just to be involved? Would he be happy being a backup? Because
Yeah.
maybe the takeaway from this, maybe the Bengals really enjoy this experience and say to him, we'd love to have you as Joe Burrow's backup. Look on the bright side, Burrow gets injured most seasons for at least a little bit of time,
Yeah.
So
You're going to
so
play.
you're going to play probably 2 or 3 weeks surrounded by great receivers. You can pad your stats late in your career. Maybe even, who knows, you end up winning a Super Bowl as a backup and you get to be
Yeah.
two-time winning Super Bowl Joe Flacco. Maybe that gets you into the Hall of Fame. Like that
Sure.
could be the thought. If that's
I
the
mean, he
pitch, if
is
you want to keep
definitely
him.
he's definitely rewriting his legacy for sure because what, let's say 10, 12 years ago when you think of Joe Flacco, you think of like, oh, that quarterback that was on the greatest Ravens defensive team that won a Super Bowl. But now it's like changing. Like I don't like I struggle to remember that was Joe Flacco at one point, because it's been so long. It literally has been so long, and he's like now he's like this journeyman who comes in and tries to potentially save your team and has like these random big games for random teams. Like it's a
Yeah.
little different now.
Well, the weird thing is, to me, because yeah, whilst he was on a great defense and a team, definitely an era of the Ravens that you associate with their defense, still he had one of the greatest postseason runs ever in that Super Bowl run. So he can kind of point to that. But what's funny is he, he had zero personality throughout that tenure with the Ravens. I mean, that the only anecdote I can remember from his time there is when he signed his big contract, they made a big deal out of the fact that he went and bought chicken McNuggets through a drive-through. And
Yeah,
that's how he celebrated getting whatever it was, $80 million contract. And whilst he still doesn't have a ton of personality, he is this sort of weird, lovable uncle figure now on these teams who
oh,
is
you calling him
loved.
Unk?
Well, I'm just saying, that seems to be the role he's kind of taking with all these receivers. And he's definitely loved by those. You could even see yesterday that Jamar Chase, like in the post game interview, clearly they have already are enjoying interacting with each other. When he was with the Browns, Njoku loved him, and all the clips went viral of Njoku driving around in Cleveland in that ATV or whatever it was with Flacco just kind of awkwardly there. but
Yeah,
still
so good.
enjoying it.
Them on
And
the sidelines was great to watch
yeah,
too.
so like it's this weird thing where he's actually gaining personality as he gets older without developing any personality. It's just that people are now feeding off this kind of quiet awkwardness and enjoying that. Whereas I guess when you're 25, that's not a great characteristic trait to have when you're a quarterback.
Unless maybe you're Daniel Jones. You just need to change the scenery. You need the right city.
Yeah. In a sense, if I were Daniel Jones, I would look at Flacco as almost best case scenario for your career. Eh, you know what I mean, though? It's like, yeah, he right place, right time on one team and put it together, and then kind of didn't do a lot else for most of his career. No one really had strong opinions on him, but he has been mostly loved by fan bases where he's been there, and then ultimately has is a journeyman backup, but without journeyman being a negative. It's a positive description of him. It's not the this guy isn't good enough. It's he'll be fun to have for 6 games. We don't want him for 18, but he'll be good for 6. But the real takeaway from that game is, are the Ravens alive again? Like, is that loss for the
The
Steelers?
Ravens.
Yeah, because you think their path to winning that division. And, when we spoke
Oh,
about it,
we spoke about this. I think they're still
but
going to win that division.
yes, but ultimately part of the argument against it was that the Steelers were just going to kind of luck their way to maybe 10 or 11 wins, and that was going to make it tough. And we would have definitely put one of those wins being against a Joe Burrowless Bengals team that was struggling to even be sort of decently mediocre in most games. And now you've got that as your loss. That's tough. That's one where you go, if you're the Ravens and this is, somehow it's their bye week and you would say they're the biggest winners of the week now.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, maybe the Bengals are the biggest winner of the week if they can get
No,
what 2 more
no.
wins out of Flacco and Burrow comes back.
I don't know. I think even conservative or even optimistic projections don't have Burrow back in 3 games. I think they're really looking later in the season. So no, we've been here with Joe Flacco. We know what it is. It will be in 5 games. He'll play 3 really good ones and 2 absolutely atrocious ones, and that will not be good enough to close the gap on these teams.
Well, they don't have to close the gap on the Ravens because they have the gap on the Ravens. They
I
just
mean,
got to close the gap on the Steelers.
I'll tell you what the best scenario, the worst, the Bengals play the Jets next, and it would
Win.
be no, it would be perfect. It would be the exemplify everything we've seen from Joe Flacco over the last couple of seasons. That on the back of this prime time 340-yard, you know, no interception, no turnover game winning drive in the final 2 minutes, that he'll lose to the Jets. He'll hand the Jets their first win of the season, which may end up being the Jets' only win of the season. That would not surprise me.
It would surprise me, I think, a little. I think he's fitting in well there. You got to remember, too, like, you are right. Flacco goes in and he has these bad games, but those are like really shitty teams he's going in for. He actually has a very good offense here in the Bengals. Like, he's never fit into a team that had what
Hold on.
maybe
Hold
the
on, Haas.
best receiver in the NFL and
Don't get
then one of
fooled.
the best second.
Remember how bad that offensive line is. Remember,
Yeah,
we
oh yeah,
spoke
he's
about it
gonna
a
get
couple.
killed.
Yeah. And so that's the issue. The doubt isn't the weapons outside of him. It's the protection in front of him. And that's going to be the problem is that, and that's actually what surprised me yesterday about, again, the Steelers team that's so heavily invested in their defense over the years. Regardless of what you feel about their offense coming into the season, the expectation was a pretty good defense. And the fact that they really, okay, their defense came up big to get the ball back with 4.5 minutes left in the fourth quarter and give Rodgers a chance for the game winning drive. You also know, as we were speaking to each other live during it, I did not like running into the end zone for the touchdown. In the moment, I knew they lost the game there and then because with a 1 point lead and with the way field goal kickers are now, you're thinking you're giving the ball back to Joe Flacco, who they've struggled to stop throughout the game in 4 down territory, only needing 30 to 35 yards to feel pretty good about a field goal attempt. There was no indication. And so, as stupid as it is, I think nowadays you need players to, it's not just the, hey, don't run it in. Don't do what Higgins did, or do what Higgins did down the stretch there. There's 2.5 minutes left. We need to really run this clock down. So that's great that you ran in for a touchdown, but let's play video game rules where you're going to be the asshole who goes down on the 22, because not only do you need to give us enough field left to kill this game. So if you go down
It's
on the
crazy.
one, you say it's crazy, but
It's
it would
crazy.
have
I
been
mean, we've watched what the last 3 weeks now. How many players fumble at like the 1 yard line?
sure. But now we also watch every week how many teams now string together game winning. If they had needed a touchdown, if that's putting you up by 4 plus, go in. Because then you're saying there's a lot of stuff that needs to go on for them to punch it in. We can slow this game down. But in a scenario where you're going to go up by they were going up by 1 point. Uh, why? I think you really have to think. And it's unfortunate because they were in a position where they should have been looking at quite a slow drive, and then just complete blown coverage by the Bengals gifts them a 65-yard touchdown. Like there's almost nothing they could have done to be more
Maybe it was a
meticulous.
little too easy, Eddie, to get that touchdown.
Oh,
Is that the real intelligent move of the game?
maybe.
The
I
Bengals
don't
side said,
disagree.
"Let them score. Just let that tight end get wide open and score. We'll have plenty of time. We'll run this clock out and win it back again."
Maybe. I don't disagree with that theory either. Again, that's a video game approach. And I really just think teams have to start thinking that way sometimes.
But then I think you run into the fact of like it'll constantly be that, because honestly, when they scored, I genuinely said to you, I'm not that concerned because I think there's still so much time and timeouts left that the Bengals will go down. They'll kick a field goal and you'll still probably get a minute left. And had they just
Yes.
stopped them that one time, like that
But they weren't
one, what was
but
it?
there was no
The
indication
third.
that they were
No, there was
going
like
to.
there was like that third and whatever it was, that third and 13 or whatever they had, and they didn't stop them. Like if they had stopped them on that one or whatever that one was before they like got down to the 5 or whatever, before that T Higgins to the 5, if they had stopped them on that one, they would have kicked that field goal and they still would have had plenty of time.
They had them the best position they had them in was no, they had them a 2nd and 8. That's
Okay,
the
2nd and 8. That was the T Higgins.
that's when they burned the timeout, which I also told you in the moment.
I
Don't
know
use
you
your
didn't like
timeout
that. I
now.
know.
Don't use
Well,
your
wouldn't have
timeout.
mattered.
It would have mattered, because this is the thing teams don't get is like the 30 seconds on the second down doesn't matter. But what matters is when the team gets the first down, if you don't have enough timeouts where you can control the clock to a degree to know, hey, if you don't get another first down, we now get the ball back. That's when you're fucked, which is what ended up happening to the Steelers. Was the the Bengals were able to get into that first and goal situation and just kneel, and also take those negative kneels where they're killing 7 or 8 seconds and pushing themselves backwards, but still comfortably within field goal range. If you'd had one more timeout and you'd been saying to the Bengals, yeah, go ahead and do that, but we're going to get the ball back now with 35 seconds left, you're going to be worried. Whereas, and maybe you have to run a play. Now, either you punch it in for a touchdown, and we're still better off in that scenario, or we have a chance of forcing a turnover because you at least need to run the ball. You can't just kneel 3 times in a row. And that's the killer for me. One more timeout in that situation would have made things so much better for them. They still would have lost, almost certainly, but
Yeah.
it's just bad. It's bad. It's a stupid usage of the timeout. You got to let them get one more, or you start using that timeout on third down when then suddenly they feel the pressure of, oh, if we don't get the first down, now they're going to get the ball back with over a minute left, and then we're in real trouble.
Yeah, I don't think it really would have mattered much in that situation.
Probably not, but I still think it's a mistake, and I'm going to keep ranting about that till the season's over. Not on that specific game, I just mean in general. But on that note, let's get on to our predictions. That's enough time spent on two teams that will definitely not win the Super Bowl. So let's move on. You
Hey,
hate
never say
Thursday night.
never.
Yeah, you hate Thursday night games. You hate London games. And now we get a London game, the last of the season. the Rams at the Jags, but not at Spurs Stadium this time, at Wembley. And the Rams
Ooh.
are 3-point favorites.
I don't hate the London games. I just hate betting on the London games. They are actually fun to watch because you get to wake up and you can get to watch the end of a potentially fun game. So they are good. I'm gonna take the Rams here. I'm not very sold on the Jags. I think they do look better than last year, but Trevor Lawrence still has those games where you question how he was the number one pick and supposedly the next Tom Brady or great quarterback in the NFL. Um, yeah, I don't know. I this will be close, and I think Puka Nacua being out changes it a little bit. But I still think that Stafford's good enough and can spread the ball around enough to just random receivers like a Tutu Atwell who will have like 100 yards this game or something. And the other thing too is Lawrence has been sacked a lot lately, and he does not look good when he gets pressured. And the Rams defense has a lot of pressure. They're like fourth in the NFL in pressures. So I think with that, I'll take the Rams. But again, I'm not going to bet on it because it is in London. I'm learning my lessons.
Yeah, it's tough because we've seen good things and bad things from each one of these teams, and I agree with you. It's tough to have a strong opinion on it, but I will trust the Rams are just more complete. And again, I've kind of said throughout the season, as long as they stay relatively healthy, then they're a good, well organized, well disciplined, well coached team with enough talent and threat around Stafford and a good defense. So on that basis, they're just more consistent than this Jags team, and so I can trust them that little bit more. I will take the Rams to win and the Rams to cover. Co-pilot Sam throws up overseas spotlight. The Jags will try to make home field advantage in London payoff. Oh no, actually, I asked for a bit more podcast flair from that preview. So
more podcast flair.
Across the pond, the Jags are practically the home team, but LA comes in with Hollywood swagger and a script full of deep balls and trickery. It's glitz versus
a script full of deep balls.
it's glitz
Co-pilot
versus
Sam. Take a chill pill. It's the first game.
Let me get this out, all right? It's glitz versus grit, and the stars steal the show. Score prediction 26-23 Rams. Theme song, because you asked for this inclusion, Viva La Vida by Coldplay. From Wembley with Love, football's most dramatic tour stop.
Wait, I don't get it, though. Is the one song is the Coldplay song? What's that after part there?
I guess the association is Wembley as a concert venue, and so it's the idea that this is like a stop on tour. I don't know.
Okay, or is that the lyrics to the Viva La Vida?
Pretty sure they don't say From Wembley with Love at any point, but who knows?
They might.
Okay, hold on. We don't have the rights to that song. Up next, we got the Patriots at the Titans.
Not yet.
And the Patriots are 7-point favorites.
I'll take the Patriots to win to cover here. I think what's really, the funnest storyline of this game, right, is Mike Vrabel going back to the place he was fired because apparently he wasn't good enough to coach the Titans, who have now already fired Callahan midway through the season. This is just such a bad look for the Titans and the Titans organization in general. I think Vrabel is just going to fucking thwomp them and just make them know how bad of a move that was. And I'm sure we'll have another great Drake May performance and people will start comparing him to Tom Brady before he comes back down to earth when he actually
maybe
plays
to Joe
real
Flacco.
Teams.
Yeah. Oh, one stat I didn't mention. The Jags? That can't be right. Well, let's ignore that stat. Co-pilot Sam says the Jags are 6-0 all time in London. They've never lost there.
No.
I don't believe that.
Really?
For 1 second. It's not possible. I'm not gonna. You could look that up whilst we're researching, but yeah, no. I just think the Titans are absolutely atrocious. This Patriots offense is not bad. Their defense, second best defense in the red zone. So even if the Titans do manage to string a couple drives together, they may struggle to punch it in. So yeah, I expect the Patriots to win and win easily. So I'll take the Patriots to win and the Patriots to cover.
Co-pilot is right. The Jags have 6 wins in London, but they also have 6 losses and another win. They are 7-6 in London games.
Close. All right. Well, let's move on to Co-pilot throwing some showing off its flair for this Patriots Titans
But
prediction.
that is very podcasty. It just
Yes, it
says
is.
fucking random facts that aren't
Yes.
correct.
And just hopes the listeners take them at face value and never double check them. It has the Patriots winning 27-17. Tennessee wants to punch you in the mouth. But the Patriots, they'll out chess you. It's classic Belichick misdirection, and the Titans are chasing and the Titans are chasing ghosts all game long. And the theme song is Paint It Black by the Rolling Stones. Dark, cold, methodical football, and the hoodie still haunts.
Oh, that's a great Belichick if Belichick was still coaching.
Yeah. If he were still alive, that would be great. Up next, we've got the Saints at the Bears, and the Bears are 5-point favorites. I'll be a little quick on this one. I'm not going to be overly fooled by what we saw from the Bears on Monday night, because I just think we have to accept with this team, they're going to be inconsistent. I also not going to be overly fooled by the fact that Jake Moody semi-sliced a game-winning field goal in. That wasn't. I'm not going to suddenly believe that he's going to be Mr. Reliable in important situations. I did like Caleb Williams saying he was completely unaware of Jake Moody's story. That's not. I get that you don't need to be paying attention to who all the kickers on other teams are, but that was such a major narrative at the beginning of this NFL season. It's kind of strange. Now, maybe he was trying to be the nice guy and not add extra coverage to. Yeah, I heard he missed every kick at the beginning of the season, but still a little strange. The Saints are bad, and so as inconsistent as this Bears team is, I think that the Bears will win and the Bears will cover.
Yeah, I have actually a good stat that co-pilot Sam I'm sure doesn't have. Last week, the Chicago Bears won the game 25-24. The week before that, they also won the game 25-24. They're the first team to win back-to-back games by 1 point and the exact same score since the Frankfurt Yellow Jackets did it in 1926. Pretty crazy. I do not think this will be 25-24. If it is, that would be fucking insane. But I agree with you. I think the Bears are a better team here. I don't believe in the Saints. Rattler looks good. Actually, genuinely, he does look decent for how bad that team is, but they're just not a good team. And I think the Bears are actually starting to get a little hot right now. 3 wins in a row. This will make it 4. We call that a winning streak.
Well, you're right. They don't have that statistic, but the statistic that Copilot did provide on this game was that Bears quarterback Caleb Williams has accounted for 10 touchdowns in the last 3 games with a 70% completion rate. Chi-Town's got a quarterback, and he's heating up faster than a deep dish oven.
Wow, I like that one. Chi-Town's got a quarterback, and it's heating up quicker than a deep dish oven. I love it. I'm actually going to be in Chicago next week. If they win this game, I'm going to go and say that somewhere. I'm going to use it. How about Caleb Williams, huh? He's heating up hotter than a deep dish oven, boys.
just to crickets in response. All right. The co-pilot has the Bears winning 30-21. The Saints try to reignite their spark. The Bears are full of youthful energy and confidence at home. Chicago outpaces, out-hustles, and pulls away in the 4th. Under new coach Ben Johnson, the Bears are the only team to score 21 points in each of the game of. I don't know how
Get
it's
it
phrases.
out, co-pilot.
To score 21 points in all 5 games this year. You
got to change games. That. You weren't going to be able to do it. You had to change it.
Okay, you want me to read the actual sentence it wrote?
Yes.
Under new coach Ben Johnson, the Bears are the only team to score 21 plus points in every first 5 games this year. And what am I supposed to do with that? All right, I did my best reading it live. I wish I had the "we'll do it live" little clip from but okay. Next up, we have the Dolphins at the Browns, and the Browns are 2.5-point favorites.
Play it.
I think this has got to pull it up. I wasn't ready.
Do we have to discuss it, or should we just move on?
Yeah, it's not a very compelling game, is it?
I'm actually a little surprised that the Browns are favored.
So am I.
I don't know. I don't know what the betting public sees in Dylan Gabriel. Uh, at least the Dolphins sometimes can score points. Like I don't think the Browns can legitimately score 3 touchdowns in a game. I think the Dolphins could give up 3 touchdowns, but they could also score 3 or 4. Like they have that potential. Achan is better. Achan has a better scoring potential than anyone on the Browns, maybe the whole offense combined. So I have to take the Dolphins here. I don't love it. I will not bet this game. I will not even like come close to betting this game, but I'll just take the Dolphins, I guess.
Do you know why the betting public probably has some confidence in the Browns? It's Tua's record in the cold. So in games where the
Oh, did you see
temperature
the weather
is
prediction too?
45 degrees and breezy is the weather
No,
prediction.
breezy is an understatement. I said, no, I saw like wind gusts up to 50 miles an hour. It said,
Okay, so whatever that translates into feels like temperature, but let's just say it's 45 degrees. To his record in games where the temperature drops under 50 degrees, his passer rating drops by 22 points. So he really does not perform
that's
in
so.
cold weather games. So on that basis, I'm just going to go with the history that it gets a little cold outside and he does not do well. So I'll take the Browns to win and the Browns to cover. Uh, as does Copilot, which has the Browns winning 20-17. This is going to be a mucky, messy. This is going to be mucky, messy, and mean. The
Ooh.
Browns slam the line, force Tua into tight windows, and grind out a late edge.
And Joe Flacco scores the game winning touchdown.
And the song of choice for this game is Cold as Ice by Foreigner.
Oh, okay. Man, I'll give Copilot Sam some credit. He spans the genres.
He does not limit himself. Up next, and to be honest with you,
Ooh. Did you use it too early?
I think it got to go double. I got to go double. It's unfair on these other two teams to not.
Actually, I don't know.
You don't know? You think
Is
that
this
the
Carolina
Panthers?
versus the Jets?
Yeah, you think that's a game you want to spend some time watching?
Not particularly, but the Panthers are 3-3. It's a
Yeah,
slight
but
disservice to the Panthers 3-3 team.
yeah, but I mean
I got a pretty good one for
put
you
it this:
here.
the
Ready?
combined wins out of the Dolphins and Browns is better than the combined wins out of the Panthers and the Jets.
It's true. How about this though, Eddie? They're trying to win. If they win if they win Sunday, the Panthers will have a 3-game winning streak for the first time since 2021. Sounds positive. Sounds good. In 2021, that team lost 4 straight after going 3-0 and finished 5-11. So they should not get their hopes up to try and repeat their great winning streak they had in 2021. I do think though that the Panthers will win this game. The only reason I would pick the Jets is because this could be the Jets' legitimately only good chance to win a game, and they might really, really try. And that's not saying that they don't try every week, but this is one of those ones where they come in and say, like, we cannot lose this game because if we lose this game, we might lose every game.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if that helps them, that recognition. Like if all I needed to do was realize that I really needed to be successful in something, I'd be a lot more successful than I am. If that was the only thing holding me back from achieving my goals. So I don't know, the realization that this is their best chance to win might not be the difference maker in this game. The Jets, though, I mean, the big issue for the Jets is they've given up the most sacks of any team so far this season, 32. So you're averaging nearly 6 sacks a game allowed. That alone makes it hard for you. I think the Panthers should be heavier favorites. I think 1.5 points is kind of doing them a disservice based on. I mean, look, the Jets nearly won last week, and they nearly won by being still one of the worst teams I've ever seen take an NFL field. It's just that the Broncos somehow struggled to put 3 somewhat respectable drives together over the course of 4 quarters. So yeah, I think the Panthers win this comfortably. And you then factor in that I don't think the travel is that big of an issue because everyone's on chartered flights and It's not, but still you got a Jets team coming back from London. So you do have to add that in to, their recovery time. Yeah, I'll take the
Maybe.
Panthers to win.
Panthers, I'll give you the betting nugget, 3-0 against the spread against teams with losing records, and every game has gone over the total. So if you actually believe in that, you should do
you,
Panthers and the spread and the over. Nice little double.
the over is 41.5, which is pretty low. The for context, the lowest of the week is the over in the Dolphins Browns game, which is only 37, which is shockingly bad. But even
That's
if you
insane.
if you think this game's going to get to 42 points, you have to think that the Jets are scoring at least 17 or 18 to get you there, and I don't buy that. So I wouldn't take the over personally because I'm not going to trust the Panthers to score 30 points.
They scored 30 against the Falcons, didn't they?
Yeah, but the Falcons are kind of encourage you to score
Better.
points like that. Yeah, but you know what I mean? Like the Falcons want to be in a shootout, so I think it changes the way in which the games are going to play. The Jets are going to be slow and awful, but it's going to eat up time even as they fail. Copilot agrees with me and has the Panthers winning 24-14, so covering, but under. The Jets try to play fast, so it disagrees with me there. Carolina mauls with edge rush and physicality. The Panthers' front seven overwhelms, and the Jets can't keep up. The song of choice is Humble by Kendrick Lamar.
Okay.
I don't know
Don't
why.
really get that one.
Guess they're keeping the Jets humble, or maybe, or is this like a warning from Erling Haaland? Is this, hey Panthers, you're going to win again, but stay humble. Don't get ahead of
Yeah.
yourselves.
Oh,
This
stay
is
humble.
it's their it knows the statistic that you provided, and so that
Yeah.
song is an early warning system.
You can win against losing teams. That's it. Stay
Yeah.
humble.
Up next, we have the Eagles at the Vikings, and the Eagles are 1.5-point favorites.
This is a tough one. I don't think the Vikings are necessarily that good, but again, it's tough to know because I feel like we've seen several different versions of the Vikings at times, and sometimes their defense looks great and their offense clicks, and then sometimes it doesn't. So I don't know. I want to take the Vikings here. I really do. I mean, the Eagles have lost 2 straight. This could be the start of the fall like they had in that, was it 2023 season. It's in Minnesota. Fuck it, I'll do it. I'll take the Vikings here. I'll take the Vikings to win.
Yeah. Look, I mean, there's two ways to look at this. Uh, this is either a double, take a good team after a loss. You have to take the Eagles to win. They've got to right the ship at some point. That division, even the division, could become tricky if they lose again. Maybe though, the multiple tush pushes in a row, maybe just karma has shifted fully against the Eagles, and so don't overlook that idea that that's just like, I don't mind the multiple tush pushes in a row, but the only thing it does show is a complete lack of confidence in the ability to execute absolutely anything else. Like, that to me is why it's a little stunning to just do it over and over again, especially because they ran the
I mind
fake.
it. I mind it. It sucks. It's shitty to watch. It's fucking stupid.
But the goal's to win, right? It's not to necessarily excite us. And so
It's a form of entertainment, Eddie. It is to excite
it
me.
is. Well, entertainment doesn't have to be through excitement. So I don't know. If I'm an Eagles fan, if they want to run the tush push all day and they win the game, then that's fine by me. It would actually kind of amuse me if they just did it.
Why
Just,
don't they do that? If they
just
can, they
not.
average 3 to 4 yards of a play
Yeah,
on it. Why not
it
just
would
do it
be
every
funny.
play?
The issue now, right, is you got this crackdown on the false start with the tush
Yeah,
push,
that they've
which
never fucking called
on the
yet.
Eagles. They
And
called it like
every
they
time
called
it
it last
happens.
they called it last night on the Steelers, who like running the tush push for the first time in 10 years. But yet somehow, so the Steelers get called on it, but they don't call it on the Eagles.
Yeah, but the Chiefs are the one that get all the calls.
They do.
The Eagles illegally tush push 5 times this season, and they're, quote, cracking down on it and have yet to call them on it.
Well, anyway, I think the Eagles will win. I just don't believe in this Vikings team at all. 19th in passing offense. There's nothing to get excited about there. Just kind of mediocre on all sides. So yeah, I think the Eagles will we'll get back there. Copilot agrees with me. It has the Eagles winning 23-20. Two balanced teams, two stout defenses. This one's going down to the wire. The Eagles' aggression versus Minnesota's methodical attack. I trust Philly to make a. Oh, it's an I trust. It's developing. It's
Oh boy.
developing. Oh dear. Oh boy, we've gone too far. We've started to get an AI that has human characteristics. I trust Philly to make a clutch defensive stand at the end.
For a second, I thought you were pronouncing Minnesota in the in
Minnesota.
the Spanish. Yeah.
Yeah. I was reading ahead, and the combination of Minnesota and methodical, it's not a nice combination to read out. I might have to start
The
giving
Minnesota Vikings.
I might have to start giving Copilot the instruction to give me easy to read previews.
Vikings win big.
Good.
Vikings
now
good.
we shift to the later games. At least this week we're back to having 4. So that's the one positive.
And good ones.
Pretty good. I think you
I
feel
think better
more
than
positive.
the early slate.
Debatable. I think there's a couple decent early games.
Well, throw one out to me here.
Oh no, we've missed one early game, actually. Sorry. We've missed the Raiders at the Chiefs. Chiefs 12-point favorites. The Chiefs are back. I never doubted them. They're great. 12-point favorites should be 20-point favorites. Now, I'll take the Chiefs to win, but honestly, I'm just going to go with the tried and tested rule here of 12 points is a lot. And whilst I think the Chiefs will win this comfortably, I'll just take the Raiders plus 12 because, they can lose badly and still, lose by 10. So the 12 points feels like a lot to me here.
Yeah, I agree. 12 is a lot. The Raiders are 4-0 against the spread as double-digit underdogs since 2022, and they've covered 3 straight against the Chiefs. So they do play the Chiefs pretty close, at least close enough to cover the spread. I'll take the Chiefs to win. Rashee Rice is back. He has been freed from his suspension, that apparently he didn't deserve according to his players. But
no, and how he's got that backlash this week for that video of him training as if he was recovering from an injury and not recovering from nearly killing a bunch of people.
Yeah, I'll take. I agree with you. I'll take the Chiefs, but I'll take the Raiders to cover. But I think this could be the start of, now that Rice is back, they could really get that offense going. It's a great game for them to get him back, where they can kind of try things out and make some mistakes and try and fit him in well and still win this game.
Yeah. I mean, so far, I doubted the Chiefs offense at the beginning of the year. I did say a couple weeks ago that it started to look better, but they are now on course to be one of the top 5 scoring offenses in the league. So things are trending upwards for them.
Chiefs are back, baby.
Well, Copilot agrees with us exactly. It has the Chiefs winning 34-24. Arrowhead is roaring. The Chiefs strike in waves. The Raiders try to answer in flashes. But when Kansas City is cooking, few can stop them. And the song of choice is King's Dead by J-Rock and Kendrick Lamar.
Why is the King's dead? Mahomes is back. The King's alive, baby.
I don't know that song well enough to look into the reading, the kind of underlying meaning of it.
And he didn't play off the Snickers commercial. He should have said the Kansas City chefs are cooking.
Oh, we're calling him
funny.
Now he's a he. We fully.
It's Copilot Sam, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah. Well, is he a he? Next up, we now move to the late games. Giants at Broncos will kick things off, and the Broncos are 7-point favorites. This is the team that you have you are a fan of. You have a soft spot for. You see the silver lining and even the darkest clouds.
I hate the fucking Broncos.
And the Broncos who could win the Super Bowl, and you would still find fault with some part of their team. So where are you going with this one?
I'm going with the Giants here. I'll take the Giants with the points. I'm struggling whether I take the Giants outright. I'm going to take the Giants outright. I think their defense right now, their front four is the best in football, and they're going to get to Bo Nix, and Bo Nix is going to make mistakes. And I think that's how they win this game. I don't think this is like a pretty win. I think this is the Giants squeak it out because Bo Nix has 2 fumbles, 2 picks, and the Giants just score enough off of them. Probably should score a lot more, but can get into field goal range for a few and win this game. I just think that Giants front four against a quarterback like Nick's is a great recipe here. So I'll take the Giants to win.
Yeah, I'm not going to take the Giants to win. I'm going to take the Broncos to win. I think I'm even going to take the Broncos to cover here. I just think eventually that offense has to look a little bit more efficient, and their defense. The takeaway from that Jets game, they did just strangle that Jets team, and so I think they'll keep the Giants to under 20 points. They'll cover here. Feel reasonably confident about that. The co-pilot has the Broncos winning 27-22. Two teams clambering for rhythm. The Broncos lean into altitude, run game, and home crowd energy. Giants scratch and claw, but fall short. And the song they've chosen, Mountain Sound by Of Monsters and Men.
Ooh, I like Of Monsters and Men. Mountain song just because they're playing a Mile High.
I think so, yeah. I think it's mentioned altitude, and so that it's looked for a song that kind of relates to altitude. So I think that's how the logics work there. Up next, this is a tough one for you. Colts at Chargers. You're who Jones versus Herbert. I said Sophie's choice for you multiple times throughout this season, but this might be the biggest. This is tough. This is the once and future king against the prodigal son. I don't know who you go for here. This is tough. I'll just hand over to you on that one.
I'm gonna go with the Colts. I think the Colts are flattered by having 5 wins against some weaker opponents, but the issue with the Chargers is right now, I don't know if Joe Alt's going to be there, and the Colts defense has looked pretty good, and then they set that offense up really well. And we've said this week in and week out, Herbert has the most QB hits in the NFL pretty much like ever. He's on pace to just get absolutely demolished, more than Andrew Luck, which we talked about before. So without Joe Alt, he now has no tackles, and that's not going to be good. So I kind of have to take the Colts here. I think the Colts will win this game.
Yeah, you mentioned Joe Alt every episode. Obviously, he is a big missing piece. I've lost faith in the Chargers. I know in the end they won that game. I gave them last week. I gave them one more chance, but they really shouldn't have won. And so I'm out on them. I don't trust them at all. I think their defense is porous. I think their offense is inconsistent. And yeah, I think Herbert is back to being the Herbert who I thought he was. I'm if they lose this, he's getting the quotes getting run out next time I mentioned Herbert. He's not getting the clip.
Oh,
I'll give him just enough respect, but he will get he is who we thought he is or was soon if they don't win this one. The Colts are just consistent. As I kind of spoke about last episode, not only do you have Jones playing really well, their defense is okay. It's not great, but it's decent. And that run game, they can just consistently move the ball through Taylor. So yeah, I think they will come out on top. Co-pilot has the Chargers winning 31-28. Lights, cameras, fireworks. Herbert
Boom.
versus Jones. Air raid versus balanced attack. But the Chargers' playoff urgency gives them the edge. And the song they have is Blinding Lights by The Weeknd.
Oh, that's a good one. I like that.
Now this one, as I was scanning through Copilot's predictions, I knew that there's no way I can get through the first sentence of this preview. So this is for the Commanders at the Cowboys. And so I'm going to say it first, and then we can go to our predictions because you are not going to stay silent once I read the first 6 words of this preview. Commanders at Cowboys. Big D's crowd is a weapon. And now we'll end. now we'll hand over to the Commanders are 1.5 point favorites against the Cowboys.
Co-pilot Sam's got Big D on the mind. This is also another really tough game. Division rivals, a good game here to potentially win that division with how the Eagles are looking. If any of these teams can start to get on a little run here. The Cowboys offense is phenomenal. And I'm sure everyone has seen all the statistics about Dak Prescott. The last 3 weeks has basically broke every record, and he's averaging crazy numbers. But their defense is just so bad, and I think the Commanders just overall have a slightly better team. I don't think Jaden Daniels is playing as well this year as he did last year, but I just think this is a team here where they can slightly slow down Prescott and still put up enough points because that Cowboys defense is so bad. So I'm going to take the Commanders here, even though I kind of sneakily like the Cowboys. Like, I think they could win any game, but they're just going to end up at the end of the day losing a lot because that defense is terrible.
Yeah. Uh, oh, I forgot my one statistic I had for the previous game. I just want to throw it in. The Colts have the best points differential in the NFL so far, plus 74. Just thought I'd mention that before we got through that. And then because that tied into the statistic I had for this game, which is that Dallas leads the league in yards per game, 406.6 yards per game so far. So yeah, the offense. I think the loss for the Commanders against the Bears. I think that was a real issue for them that they lost that game. And I know it's a bad fumble down the stretch, and they, if that hadn't happened, they win that game, and it feels like a decent win against an okay Bears team. But I just can't trust them, and I think in my mind, and I think for a lot of people, they think of this Commanders team, and they think about how fun and exciting and good they were with Jaden Daniels for parts of last season, and they're just not there at the moment. And it feels a little bit reminiscent in a sense of the drop off that we've seen from CJ Stroud. I don't think it's going to be anywhere near as dramatic for Jaden Daniels, but it's certainly, this is a significant sophomore slump, and this team is just not as good as it was for the second half of last season. And factoring in that the Cowboys can definitely score in bunches, I will trust them to come out on top. So I will take the Cowboys to win. And Copilot has the Cowboys winning 33-20, so comfortably. Big
Wow.
D's crowd is a weapon. Washington wants to punch first. Copilot is aggressive this week, but the Cowboys offense is too polished. Dallas strikes early and pulls away. Now, the last of the late games, it's the Packers at the Cardinals. The Packers are 6.5-point favorites. I'll be quick here. Oh, the song I forgot to mention was Stronger by Kanye West for that game. Don't know why.
You used it
The
already. I think you used that last week.
No, that was a different. He does like Kanye West, but it wasn't Stronger. So yeah, Packers 6.5-point favorites against the Cardinals.
Wait, what?
Cardinals could have
Say 12-point favorites?
6.5.
Oh.
The Cardinals could have easily won last week, and who's starting at quarterback for the Cardinals this week? Actually,
I'm not sure.
Are we? Actually, to be honest with you, I don't think it really changes my opinion on this Cardinals team.
He's questionable still.
Yeah, I just think at some point things have to click a little bit. This is a dumb preview, but I just have to believe that fundamentally at some point things have to start to click on both sides of the ball for this Packers team, and that this Cardinals team is a nice matchup for them. And so this could be where we start to see a nice offensive output combined with good defensive performance. And so I'll take the Packers to win and to cover.
Yes, the same. I mean, they are 3-1-1, so it's funny to say that like they're finally going to click. But I agree. I think they're just a better team than the Cardinals on both sides of the ball. So I'll take them to win and to cover.
Copilot has the Packers winning 26-16. This one sees Green Bay's suffocating efficiency versus Arizona's hunger. The Pack make every possession count. The Cards make costly errors. And the song is The Man by Aloe Black. Now we get on to the Atlanta Falcons, Sunday Night Football, sorry. Atlanta Falcons at the San Francisco 49ers. The 49ers are 2-point favorites. Okay, they lost Fred Warner last week. The defense is missing the 2 star players coming into this season, but the offense is starting to get some of the weapons back. Expectation is for Kittle to be playing this week, for Brock Purdy to be playing this week. Jennings should be a little bit healthier this week. I guess those ribs will have slightly recovered. So we're getting something resembling what we expected the Niners offense to be like coming into this season. And I think that's all they need against this Falcons team. The defensive concerns are going to be significant against good teams, especially based on how the 49ers have sort of defined themselves so far this season, which has been more defensive and big stops at big times. But yeah, I think the offense will get back into scoring, 25, 30 points. And this Falcons team is fundamentally not that good. So I'll take the Niners to win and the Niners to cover.
Yeah, I kind of do want to take the Falcons. I just can't get myself to it. I mean, they beat Buffalo, they beat the Commanders, they beat the Vikings. Those are all three good wins. But the loss to Carolina worries me. They also lost to the Bucks, but not as bad as the Niners lost to the Bucks. But I just think Shanahan is really good at designing ways to beat young players, and I think he'll have a great strategy for Penix, and I think that'll ultimately end up in a few turnovers and not as open and free of a game as Penix likes to have, where he likes to just be able to air that ball out and hit those deep balls. So I think the Niners will win this game, and I think it's the 1.5, so they'll cover.
Yeah. The co-pilot has the Niners winning comfortably 31-19. Prime time under the lights. The 49ers are a different beast in this zone. High tempo, heavy hits, deep throws. Falcons will fight, but San Fran is in a league of their own at home. Now we get the joys of the Monday night doubleheader. At least this time the games are separated enough that it is a true doubleheader because you
Yeah,
have,
great. Who's going to watch
yeah,
that second game?
well, I will because it's actually will be when I'm waking up, so that's nice. But the
Sure it is.
you got
Mr. 1 p.m. wake up over here.
1 p.m. So we got 3 hours separated of kickoff. I think if you're going to do Monday nights, this is how you should do it, but the kickoff should be earlier. That's my only issue. This is fine, but have the one game kickoff at 6 p.m. Eastern time, 6:30 if you want, and then have this the next game kickoff at sort of 8:30, 8 o'clock Eastern. Maybe a tiny bit of overlap in the fourth quarter is okay, but fundamentally give people the real action. Lions are 5.5-point favorites. I'm going to be quick on this one. I take a good team after a loss. I think the Lions are a good team. I think the Lions are a better version of the Bucks pretty much in every facet. I think they'll be too fast. I could just probably copy and paste my prediction from the Lions against the Chiefs from a week ago. They'll be too fast, too furious even. And I think that they will just try to take a little bit of inspiration from co-pilot there. And I think they'll win and cover. This is when the Baker bubble starts to burst. A lot of bees there.
Whoa. All right, co-pilot Sam.
I know.
Man,
I've
Eddie
upped
throwing in
my
some podcast
I've
flair.
upped my podcast flair. I gave myself my own prompt.
Yeah, wow. Baker and the Bucks are gonna burst. I I don't know. I want to believe in this Bucks team. Like they're fun to watch. I want them to win because it's just fun watching Baker go off and do that. But I agree with you. I think the Lions will win this. You said take a good team after a loss. Well, maybe this stat, Eddie, will convince you that you've got some legs there. The Lions are 11-0 against the spread after a loss in their last 11 games after a loss. So the last few years, they have been very well after the loss. So I'm going to take them to win. I think they it's tough, man. It's so tough, but I'll take them. I think just overall, you're right. I think they are the quicker team. The Bucks still have a lot of injuries. I think that's going to hamper them a little bit. I don't know what receivers are even going to be available for Baker. And on the other side, the Lions just have a plethora of options. So I'll take the Lions.
Opilot may have made a mistake in this prediction, but it also corrected itself. So it's a very strange little bit of the
Okay.
response. It has the Lions winning 30-24. It says the Baker bromance in the snow. No. Now, that's for two reasons. One, just to interject here, it's not forecast to snow in Detroit this weekend, and the Lions play indoors. So it threw that out as an idea and immediately dismissed it
But
itself.
who is Baker bromancing with?
I don't know himself. The
That's
Lions
so
bite.
weird.
The Lions bite first. Expect Detroit to feed the run, lean on play action, and pull away late with a wide receivers monster night. Doesn't say who.
Does it need to, Eddie? You know who it's talking about.
Next, to wrap things up, it's the Texans at the Seahawks, and the Seahawks are 3-point favorites. I'll be quick here as well. I think the Seahawks are kind of frauds. And whilst I don't think the Texans are
Oh,
great, I think the Texans win this game. I think the Seahawks are kind of skating through at the moment, more through luck than through sheer skill. I think Houston will just be better on both sides of the ball. And yeah, I think the Texans will get the road win.
Oh, I'll be quick. I think the Texans are a fraud, and I'm going to go with
Maybe they're
Seattle
both
here.
frauds.
A fraud matchup. You know who should coach this? James Franklin. He is the classic fraud. Uh, I'll take the Seahawks. They've scored 168 points this season. That's the most in the NFL, so they are cooking. And I just don't think the Texans' offense is that great, and I'm not sold right now on CJ Stroud. So I'll take, surprisingly, Sam Darnold over CJ Stroud here.
Well, the co-pilot wraps things up by agreeing with me. It has the Texans winning 27-24. Don't sleep on Houston. Their defense is feisty. Stroud is awake. That's good. And Seattle's home field, a ringing endorsement of CJ Stroud there. And Seattle's home field magic might be overblown this year. This one ends with a late drive and a stunned crowd.
Stroud is alive. More than you can say about Mitch McConnell.
Oh, I forgot the song. Oh boy, hold on, I got to get into the country. Remember, I forgot the song for the 49ers game. Speaking about some topical subject matter, "Immigrant Song" by Led Zeppelin. The song for the Lions game, "Lose Yourself" by Eminem. That's just an easy Detroit
Come
move.
on.
I'm done impressed by that. And the song for the Seahawks game is "Heart of a Champion" by Nelly.
Okay. I think we should ditch the song title. We should
You
make it
give it up.
tougher. Yeah, I've given up. We should make like movies, like a movie
Movies, okay.
title.
All right, next week we'll test it out with movies. We'll see how it does.
Or can we ask Copilot Sam to predict the game using only movie quotes?
I'm sure we could. We'll give that a spin next week. I think it will be awful, but we can see how that goes.
Or just a movie quote to describe the game would be fine. Not, it doesn't have to be all movie quotes.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. Anything else to mention before we wrap things up?
No, I think we can probably save it for the next week, but I did watch the first episode of The Chair Company.
So did
We
I.
had talked about
It's
that
good.
previously.
And I can't help whenever I'm watching, especially Tim Robinson in those environments. He just reminds me of friend of the podcast, Jake, so much that
so much.
it adds much to my pleasure of viewing it, of just imagining him in those scenarios reacting in those ways. And it instantly makes, which is obviously not the Tim Robinson's idea, but it makes it 10 times more entertaining to watch. So this is a very niche specific recommendation, but if you know Jacob Croucher, you should definitely be watching the show. This is a show for all Jacob Croucher fans out there.
It's funny because I probably have had 1/1000th of the Jake experiences that you have had, but I've still have had slightly enough to see the glimmer in the eyes that remind me of like sometimes when he does it, or
Yeah.
just of hearing the stories about things that he's done, and
Yeah.
just like, yeah, I could see Jake saying that or doing that. Like some of them are really good.
Yeah. I love to, as someone who's often, again, very quickly, and it's worth a deeper dive, but as someone who's often finds themselves on customer support chat interactions, when he called the support, he said, "You're a fucker," and then yours, "You fucker," and then the chat was like, "What? I don't understand." Said, "You're a fucker," and just ended the chat. And I might have to pull that one out in a future interaction with customer support in the future.
Yeah, that was funny. Yeah,
And
and obviously it's not for everybody. Like I can see a majority of people not liking the show, but I do find that humor pretty funny. Again, though, like I'm with almost all of his stuff, and even the movie Friendship that we talked about 2 weeks ago, I have no idea where it's going ever.
yeah,
Like you never really know where it's going. And
I
that
think,
sometimes can be a little frustrating where you're just like, I kind of just want to get an idea of what's going to happen just a
yeah.
little bit, but it's a good show.
I think this is a bit more for everyone than Friendship was. I will say that. I think this is Friendship is very particular, and I think it would be weird to come away from this show hating it, whereas I could certainly understand hating Friendship. This I could understand not really enjoying, but I think it's more accessible to a wider audience.
Some of the
It's
jokes, though, like they're not funny, but I think they're so like the one that comes to mind is when they're talking about how he's in trouble because he didn't get the security firm. And there's like there was a teacher who was
oh
like
yeah,
drinking with students. He's like, and he had his shirt off.
yeah.
And he's like, oh.
No, he goes like, what? But anyway, yeah, it's a good show, worth watching, and especially if you, as I said, if you're a fan of Jacob Croucher, then you'll definitely enjoy it. A little update to listeners in case they really were interested. A few days of using that kettle, worth every penny. Just
Wow.
blowing me away. Having
We'll
multiple
get a
teas a
1 month
day now.
update.
You know,
Nice.
I have to have tea now to justify the expense, but I'm enjoying the process.
Good for you. Well, I'm currently looking into the London fog for you for when you come visit. So
Nice.
we're going to start testing out some teas to make sure we have the best tea for you.
I'll just tell you the tea I want.
Okay.
I just want Earl Grey. I'm not complicated. Any Earl Grey's fine.
Any Earl Grey. How about milk choice? We've got pecan milk, we've got almond milk, we've got oat milk, we've got regular milk.
Regular milk, please.
Full fat.
I'm normally
2%.
half. Yeah. So
2%.
what here would be, yeah. So, but I'm not picky.
Okay.
Surprise me with the milk. I mean, I don't want flavor in my milk. That's the only thing.
Okay. You don't want a shot of the pumpkin spice sugar free.
I don't want vanilla sneaking in there. I don't want any.
Oh, you don't want any vanilla?
No, I mean in the London fog, I think you need a little bit, but
I think it's a vanilla syrup in the London fog.
Yes, but I mean in terms
we've got a nice one
from the milk side of things. I don't want. I'm a traditionalist.
I bought a nice artsy, not artsy, but like a little hipster coffee flavor. That's vanilla, cinnamon, and something else. It's supposed to be very good. We'll see.
Maybe
it's coming.
Should I get you a really hipster apron that you can wear?
Yeah, I'd love it.
Whilst you make them,
we have one already. Actually, no, but we'll have to. I hope I bought a piece of art to put next to the coffee machine. I hope it's in time because you'll love it. It's like when I thought of it, I got really excited and I spent 15 minutes finding the best one of it, and now it's going to be up on the wall. So hopefully it'll be there in time.
As Copilot's last contribution to this episode, I will get one of these for you, an apron that has one of the following slogans. I said, give me a good pun to go on an apron for a guy called Frank Duca making fancy coffees. First suggestion is, frankly, this brew is Duca-licious. Other options, espresso yourself, Frank Duca style.
That seems slightly sexual.
You might get fired for that one. That might be the end of your career. Oh no, this one you might love the most. Duca's Daily Grind, fancy beans, fancy dreams.
That's a pretty good one too. That kind of sounds like Larry's lattes.
How about caution, Frank at work may cause latte love. And this one definitely gets you fired. Foam Sweet Foam, brewed by Frank Duca. That's an HR meeting as soon as you put the apron on.
Oh, that's pretty good. Thank you, Co-Pilot Sam. Well, with that, we'll definitely call it a day. I'll talk to you later.
Just to wrap it up. I said make them less acceptable for a workplace environment. It said, frankly, I steam up more than milk. Duca's beans aren't the only thing grinding.
I don't know what that even means.
Hot, strong, and ready to pour, just like my coffee. Espresso yourself. I like it bold and dirty.
Nice. Is it gonna drop the "How do you like your coffee" line? Is it gonna do that one?
The final one is caution. Barista with serious froth appeal.
Wow. Yeah. Okay, get that one for Sam.
And Copilot says they're suggestive, but without crossing the line. Okay. Perfect for a wink and a smile vibe.
And a trip to HR.
But with a wink and a smile. Come on, guys.
Yeah.
On that note, we'll wrap it up.
All right, sounds good. I'll talk to you later.
See you.
Cheerio.